You wake up feeling exhausted, your skin looks dull, your belly seems bloated for no reason, and no matter how much sleep you get, you just cannot shake that heavy, foggy feeling. Most people blame stress, aging, or just having a bad week. But what if your body is actually sending you very specific distress signals and you have been completely misreading them this entire time? Here is the truth that most doctors will not tell you in a 10-minute appointment. Your liver is one of the most overworked and underappreciated organs in your entire body. And when it starts to fail at doing its job, the warning signs show up in ways that almost nobody connects to their liver at all. We are talking about symptoms that look like fatigue, skin problems, digestive issues, and mood changes. Things you would never in a million years think to trace back to the one organ sitting quietly in your upper right abdomen, silently processing over 500 different biological functions every single day. Today, we are going to walk through 5 major warning signs that your liver is desperately struggling. And more importantly, I'm going to give you real, natural, science-backed strategies to start turning things around. Stay with me through all 5 because the 5th one is the one almost everyone misses, and it might actually be the most dangerous of them all. Before we dive in, I want you to understand just how critical this organ actually is. Your liver filters your blood. It produces bile to break down fats. It stores energy in the form of glycogen. It metabolizes hormones, drugs, and toxins. It manufactures proteins that your blood absolutely needs to clot properly. When this organ is under stress, everything downstream in your body starts to go wrong in ways that are subtle at first, but can become catastrophic if left ignored for too long. The liver is also uniquely capable of regenerating itself, which is both a blessing and a curse. It means the liver can take enormous amounts of damage and keep functioning without screaming at you. But it also means that by the time obvious symptoms arrive, the damage may already be quite significant. This is exactly why learning to read the earlier, quieter warning signs is so incredibly important. Warning sign number 1. You are exhausted all the time and you cannot figure out why. This is probably the most common and most dismissed symptom on this entire list. People chalk it up to working too hard, not sleeping enough, getting older, being stressed. But liver-related fatigue has a very specific quality to it. It is a deep, bone-heavy exhaustion that does not get better with rest. You sleep 8 or 9 hours and wake up still feeling like you have been hit by a truck. Here is why this happens. When your liver is overwhelmed and struggling to filter toxins from your bloodstream, those toxins start to accumulate. Your brain and your muscles are exposed to elevated levels of ammonia and other metabolic waste products that your liver should normally be neutralizing. This directly interferes with your energy production at a cellular level. Your mitochondria, the tiny engines inside every cell in your body, cannot function efficiently in a toxic internal environment. The result is that relentless, soul-crushing fatigue that no amount of caffeine or sleep seems to fix. Bloating after meals, feeling nauseous when you eat fatty foods, alternating between constipation and loose stools, greasy, foul-smelling bowel movements, upper right abdominal discomfort, especially after eating. These are all digestive symptoms that most people attribute to irritable bowel syndrome, food sensitivities, or just having a sensitive stomach. But they are also extremely common signs of impaired liver and bile function. Here is the connection. Your liver produces bile, which is stored in the gallbladder and released into your small intestine when you eat, particularly when you eat fat. Bile is what breaks fat down into absorbable particles and also helps eliminate fat-soluble toxins from your body. When the liver is under stress, bile production and composition can be compromised. The result is poor fat digestion, nutrient malabsorption, and a whole cascade of digestive dysfunction that makes every meal feel like a gamble. What is particularly important here is the connection between the liver and your gut microbiome. Research over the past decade has revealed a very powerful bidirectional relationship between the liver and the gut. An unhealthy gut sends inflammatory signals and bacterial toxins, sometimes called lipopolysaccharides, through the portal vein directly to the liver. This creates inflammation and stress in the liver, and in return, a compromised liver fails to produce the bile acids that normally help keep harmful gut bacteria in check, allowing dysbiosis to worsen. It becomes a vicious cycle that feeds itself. To break this cycle naturally, Focus first on prebiotic and probiotic foods, fermented vegetables like kimchi and sauerkraut, plain unsweetened yogurt or kefir, and high-fiber foods like artichokes, garlic, onions, and leeks all help nurture a healthier gut environment that places less of a toxic burden on your liver. Additionally, consider incorporating artichoke leaf extract, which research has shown to stimulate bile production, reduce liver inflammation, and actually lower liver enzyme levels in people with non-alcoholic fatty liver disease. The connection between artichokes and liver health has been recognized in traditional medicine for centuries and is now well supported by modern research. And do not underestimate the power of staying properly hydrated. Your liver needs water to carry out its detoxification processes. Adding a squeeze of fresh lemon juice to your water in the morning is more than just a social media trend. Lemon juice stimulates bile production and helps prime your liver's detoxification pathways for the day ahead. Warning sign number 4. Your hormones are out of control. This is the one that surprises most people. Mood swings, unexplained weight gain, particularly around the belly and hips, irregular periods or worsening PMS, low libido, difficulty building or maintaining muscle, brain fog so thick that you feel like you are thinking through wet concrete. These hormonal and metabolic symptoms are deeply connected to how well your liver is doing its job. Here is what most people do not know. Your liver is directly responsible for metabolizing and clearing hormones from your body. Estrogen, in particular, must be processed by the liver and eliminated. When liver function is impaired, estrogen can recirculate in the blood at elevated levels. This condition is sometimes called estrogen dominance, and it affects both women and men, though the symptoms manifest differently. For women, it typically shows up as worsening PMS, heavier periods, breast tenderness, and weight gain. For men, it can contribute to gynecomastia, low testosterone, and increased fat storage. Your liver also plays a central role in regulating blood sugar and insulin sensitivity. When fat accumulates in liver cells, a condition known as non-alcoholic fatty liver disease, it directly impairs the liver's ability to regulate glucose and respond to insulin. This creates a feedback loop with insulin resistance that makes losing weight feel genuinely impossible, no matter how carefully you eat or how much you exercise. The thyroid hormone connection is equally significant. Your liver converts the inactive thyroid hormone T4 into the active form T3, which your cells can actually use. If your liver is sluggish, this conversion is impaired, and you can end up with functional hypothyroid symptoms even if your blood tests come back in the normal range. This means fatigue, weight gain, cold intolerance, and slow metabolism that continues being blamed on everything except the real underlying issue. Naturally addressing this requires a multi-pronged approach. Cruciferous vegetables like broccoli, Brussels sprouts, cauliflower, and cabbage contain compounds called indole 3-carbinol, mucopinol, and diindolyl methane, which directly support the liver's ability to metabolize and eliminate estrogen safely and efficiently. Eating these vegetables several times a week or supplementing with DAIM can make a meaningful difference in hormone balance. Reducing your toxic load is equally important here. We are bombarded with endocrine-disrupting chemicals and plastics, pesticide residues on non-organic produce, synthetic fragrances in personal care products, and non-stick coatings on cookware. Every single one of these chemicals has to be processed by your liver. Reducing your exposure, switching to glass food storage, choosing organic produce where possible, and simplifying your personal care products all reduce the toxic burden on your liver and give it more capacity to handle the essential work of hormone metabolism. Warning sign number 5, your brain is not working the way it should. This is the one almost nobody connects to the liver, and it is potentially the most serious sign on this entire list. Brain fog, difficulty concentrating, memory lapses, feeling confused or disoriented, particularly in the morning or after meals. Mood disturbances, including unexplained anxiety, irritability, or depression that does not seem connected to life circumstances. In more advanced cases, difficulty sleeping at night with excessive daytime drowsiness. These neurological symptoms can all trace back to the liver. The mechanism is called hepatic encephalopathy in its more severe forms, but subclinical versions of this process happen long before it reaches a diagnosable stage. When the liver cannot adequately filter the blood, ammonia, and other neurotoxic compounds that are produced as normal byproducts of digestion and metabolism begin to cross the blood-brain barrier. These compounds directly interfere with neurotransmitter production and function, affect sleep-wake cycles by disrupting melatonin and serotonin pathways, and create a neurological environment that feels like trying to think through thick mental mud. The ammonia issue is particularly relevant to people who eat high-protein diets. Protein digestion produces ammonia as a byproduct, and under normal circumstances, the liver converts it into urea, which the kidneys then excrete in urine. When this process is compromised, ammonia accumulates in the blood. You do not have to have advanced liver disease for this to become a problem. Even moderate liver stress can impair this conversion enough to affect cognitive function meaningfully. What can you do? Zinc is one of the most critical and frequently deficient micronutrients for liver function, and supplementing with zinc has been shown to help reduce ammonia levels in the blood. Zinc is essential for the urea cycle, which is precisely the process your liver uses to convert ammonia into urea. Oysters, pumpkin seeds, hemp seeds, and beef are all excellent dietary sources of zinc if you prefer food-first approaches. N-acetylcysteine, commonly known as NAC, is another remarkable natural compound that supports liver function and brain health simultaneously. It is a precursor to glutathione, which is your body's master antioxidant and one of the primary tools your liver uses to neutralize toxic compounds. NAC has been used in emergency medicine for decades to treat acetaminophen overdose and acute liver toxicity, which gives you a sense of how powerfully it supports liver function. Taking NAC as a supplement can help replenish glutathione levels and give your liver better tools to do the heavy lifting of detoxification. B vitamins deserve a special mention here as well. B12, folate, and B6 are all critical cofactors in the liver's detoxification pathways. They support methylation, which is one of the primary biochemical processes your liver uses to neutralize toxins and metabolize hormones. Many people with liver stress are deficient in these vitamins, creating a compounding problem. Eating foods rich in B vitamins or taking a quality B complex supplement can meaningfully support your liver's capacity to function and, by extension, improve your neurological symptoms. Now, let us talk about what you should be doing every single day to give your liver the best possible chance to heal and regenerate. Because here is the good news, a news that I really want you to hold on to. Your liver is the only internal organ that can actually regenerate itself. Given the right conditions, the right nutritional support, and the removal of major stressors, liver health can improve quite dramatically and relatively quickly. Sleep is non-negotiable. Your liver does its most intensive repair and regeneration work during deep sleep, particularly between roughly 10 at night and 2 in the morning. Consistently getting into bed before 10 and protecting your sleep quality is one of the most underappreciated things you can do for liver health. This is ancient advice from traditional medicine systems that modern chronobiology has actually validated. Movement matters enormously. Regular physical activity, even just 30 minutes of brisk walking daily, has been shown to reduce liver fat, lower liver enzyme levels, and improve insulin sensitivity. You do not need to be an elite athlete. Consistency at a moderate intensity appears to be more beneficial for liver health than sporadic intense exercise sessions. Alcohol is, simply put, the most direct assault you can make on your liver. Even moderate, regular consumption creates cumulative, oxidative stress and inflammatory damage to liver cells. If you have any of the warning signs I described today, eliminating or dramatically reducing alcohol is probably the single highest impact change you can make. Coffee, interestingly, is one of the most extensively studied liver protective beverages in existence. Multiple large population studies have shown that regular coffee drinkers have significantly lower rates of liver disease, liver cirrhosis, and even liver cancer. 2 to 3 cups of black coffee per day appears to offer meaningful liver protection. The exact mechanism is still being researched, but the evidence supporting this relationship is quite robust. Reducing your sugar intake, particularly refined fructose from processed foods and sugary drinks, is absolutely essential. Non-alcoholic fatty liver disease, which is now the most common liver disease in the world affecting an estimated 1 in 4 adults globally, is largely driven by excess sugar and refined carbohydrate consumption. This is a completely lifestyle-driven disease, which means it is also largely reversible through lifestyle changes. The same liver that has been accumulating fat from years of poor diet can begin to release and burn that fat when you remove the dietary triggers that caused it to accumulate. Turmeric deserves a mention as one of the most comprehensively studied anti-inflammatory foods for liver health. The active compound curcumin has been shown to reduce liver inflammation, inhibit the development of fibrosis or scarring in the liver, and support the liver's antioxidant defenses. Pairing it with black pepper dramatically increases its absorption, so a daily golden milk drink or a turmeric and black pepper supplement can be a simple addition that provides real benefits over time. Garlic is another kitchen staple with impressive liver-supporting credentials. It contains selenium and allicin, compounds that help activate liver enzymes involved in flushing toxins from the body. Adding fresh garlic generously to your cooking is one of those effortless, small changes that adds up significantly when you are consistent about it over weeks and months. Here is what I want you to take away from everything we covered today. Your liver is working for you right now, in this very moment, in ways that you will likely never fully appreciate. It is filtering your blood, making proteins, processing your hormones, protecting your brain from toxins, and producing the compounds your digestive system needs to absorb nutrients. It does all of this silently without complaint, right up until it simply cannot anymore. The warning signs we covered today, the unexplained fatigue, the skin and eye changes, the digestive chaos, the hormonal disruption, and the brain fog. These are your liver reaching out and asking for help in the only language it has. Most people will dismiss these signals for years. They will chase individual symptoms with individual solutions, trying creams for the skin issues, antidepressants for the mood problems, digestive enzymes for the gut complaints, without ever addressing the common root that connects all of these symptoms together. You now know what most people do not, and knowledge without action is just interesting trivia. If you recognize yourself in two or more of the warning signs I described today, I want to challenge you to start with just two changes this week. Pick two from everything we talked about. Maybe you add milk thistle and cut out the sugary drinks. Maybe you start walking 30 minutes a day and add more cruciferous vegetables to your dinner. Just two things. Consistency with two simple actions over 30 days will do more for your liver than any expensive detox product or a dramatic overnight overhaul. Your body wants to heal. Give it the tools it needs and get out of the way. If this video helped you connect some dots you have been struggling to connect, please share it with someone you care about. The liver is the most overlooked organ in the wellness conversation and the most critical one to get right. Drop in the comments below which warning sign surprised you the most, because I read every single one. And if you want to go deeper on natural approaches to fixing the root causes behind stubborn health symptoms your doctors keep dismissing, make sure you subscribe because that is exactly what we are here to do every single week.